the devil! All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals and music lovers all alike. This is a brand new episode of Pink Distortion. We're going to be talking about our favorite cover songs. But before that, we're going to just do our normal check-in and everything. We have Cookie in the chat. What is up, Cookie? And we have Horror Geek Mel, who just can't think of any cover songs to talk about. But Joey, like you have some pretty rad stuff you wanted to talk about. Like what you got for check-in this week.
Check-in. Well, one thing is when I went to my mom's, I went and saw a show. So I saw Sloan live. They're a Canadian band from the Maritimes, from the 90s there. They put out the bulk of their stuff in the 90s, early 2000s. So I went and saw them live, which was a decent show. It was the first show of their tour, so it was kind of I think it was more like a warm-up show, kind of getting ready for the
Shaking
bigger
off the
venues.
cobwebs.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was in a really small venue. They didn't have any opening band, so they did like one set. They took a 20-minute break and they did a second set, which was kind of cool. Like I'd never seen that before from a.
They were the only band that played? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't have an opening band or anything. Yeah, so they did like one set. They're like, oh, we took 20 minutes, and one of the singers came and sat in the crowd and was chatting with people on the break, and then they got back up on stage and did their second set. So it was a really, really laid back kind of chill show. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Were they good?
Yeah, I enjoyed them, man. That band, actually, they have 3 guys that sing, and whoever writes the song sings it. So like the drummer has quite a few songs. So he gets off drums and he grabs the guitar and he comes up and plays and sings his songs. And the bassist goes on the drums and the other guitarist plays bass. Then there's the second guitarist who only does guitars and vocals. So basically whoever writes the song sings, and then the bassist does a lot of the singing too. He has a lot of songs that he sings. And one of the other guitarists. So there's four different singers in that band.
That's cool.
So it's
I
pretty
like when
interesting.
when you can have a range of vocalists for a band. That's one of my favorite things about Rancid and a couple of other bands I like. So I heard a couple of things from them when you talked about them. I looked them up. They kind of do like that 1960s throwback stuff, kind of
Yeah, a lot of it.
Oasis-y.
Yeah. Like Beatles vibe, like a lot of some songs are kind of got Beach Boy vibes to them. But a lot of influences from the like 60s, early 70s stuff,
That's groovy.
Yeah, pop. Yeah, they're not bad. This
I
came
like what I
in.
heard. I was surprised I'd never really heard of them before. They should have been pretty big. Did they come out like between the two fads? Did they come out like after the big Oasis bubble and like before the Strokes or what? Because like that kind of music was really popular in a couple time periods.
They're around the same time as Oasis, I'd say, maybe a little bit before. Because I think
Okay.
their first albums were like in 91. And their biggest album, I think, their most successful album came out in 98. So they had 4 albums from 90 to 98. So every 2 years they put out an album.
Maybe they got snubbed because they weren't British. Maybe because they're Canadian. Maybe they could have said like, but we're British Columbian. Like we might not be British, but we're British Columbian.
Yeah, I don't know. They're Canadian band too, right? So it's from the Maritimes. Probably a little harder to get exposure and stuff like that. Yeah. But
their music videos were pretty big though. Oh yeah.
This came in the mail today. We talked about this on a previous episode. It was Fulci's pick for soundtrack, God Money. So I watched this this morning, actually. I watched it because I went to work and they were pouring cement, so I couldn't work. So I popped this into the PlayStation and watched it. And pretty much, like I dropped in the chats, the group chat, I was like, God Money is, big pause, a movie. And that pretty much sums it up for me.
It was made for like what, like $10 maybe, something like that. Like it looks
probably
incredibly cheap.
I paid $3 for this one, so they almost made their budget back.
When you showed that cover in the chat, I was just like, "Oh man, look at that, dude! Like it totally wants to be the Doom generation when it grows up." Like
this cover, pretty much, whatever goes through your mind when you look at this cover, you'll probably have the exact same thoughts going through your mind as you're watching the movie. So, yeah. But the music's pretty rad in it, though. So we gotta.
It's got one of the best like pop punk soundtracks ever. So yeah,
Mm.
I guess all around punk rock, like we said, because it's got like it dips into a lot of everything, but there's a ton of pop punk on it. Really
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. So I watched that. I got a few vinyls came in that I ordered. Two. So Have Heart has their 25th anniversary. They put out some printed on silver because it's 25th. 25th, I think, anniversary is this color for 25th anniversaries is silver. So they printed it on silver, and the vinyl is, I guess they call this silver, but really I just call it gray.
Yeah.
So the vinyl is gray too, which kind of which is cool. They kept with the theme, you know.
I
It's
guess
pretty
you
cool.
could just say silver shiny gray anyway. So like.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So it's
counts.
cool. So that came in. I ordered that, and they had their live album too that they put out, the 25th anniversary edition. So I ordered that one as well. I ordered the two together. Yeah. So that came in. So I was pretty happy about that. Yeah.
I noticed that that's come back into habit with hardcore albums too, like that '90s album cover style, with the dude just like screaming on the cover, looking like he's shitting his pants, just, in the microphone.
Well,
No,
that's
like on the other cover, like the live cover.
Oh, well, I
Like,
think this is the original. It's the original cover. They just printed it
Yeah.
on silver. Yeah.
But I've noticed like a lot of new hardcore bands have been doing that kind of cover lately. The
Oh,
like
the newer ones. Okay, yeah, I
chains,
see what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
the old Chain of Strength. You know, all those
Yeah.
youthcore bands used to have like the.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I get what you're saying now. I'm a little slow sometimes, so it took me a minute. There. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and I started watching a new show, an animated series called Gary and His Demons. And right in the first episode, he talked about a demon shitting in your mouth. So
Canadian one too, right?
Yeah, it's a Canadian show, so it's Canadian Devil as well. So I'm not
Somebody
saying
was been watching our show.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they stole it from you, Johnny, or not, but
They
yeah.
changed it. I'd say that's fair use. They took it from a fart to poop, which is way cruder. So
And
like
demons, not the devil. It was demons instead of devils. So it's pretty funny animation, though. It's an agency, like a paranormal agency that they hunt demons and kill demons and stuff. So they go around, and it's this old demon hunter that wants to retire, but he's the chosen one. So like he's the alpha demon killer. So they got to find the new chosen one before he can retire. Anyway, so it's pretty funny. So he's like a disgruntled employee going around killing demons and bitching about it. And yeah. And his fiance got killed by demons. So he hasn't gotten laid in 25 years.
So it's kind of like a demon version of The Boys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not bad. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's pretty crude. So I know. I enjoyed it. It just dropped on Amazon. I don't know if it'll be on Amazon Prime in the States, but it's here. We have it here in Canada. So yeah.
It's an Amazon show. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. There's 2 seasons. So.
What about you, Matt? You got to check in?
Yeah. Say hi to Mel and Cookie in the chats. I got these might have come out this week or last week. I don't know. My subscription service kind of fucking gets here whenever it gets here. But the 2 books I'm most excited about that are new for me, Breath of Shadows, fucking Cormac always fucking rules, and
Dueck.
Rich Dueck, the team that did Road of Bones and Sea of Sorrows, their new book. So,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, since they're doing the 3rd one, like maybe we could do a Pink Spots about the trilogy.
That'd be cool.
Throw Rich and Alex some love.
But yeah, I'm fucking stoked about that. And then
oh yeah, I got
Where
that
Monsters
too.
Live. I got the Stoko cover, of course. It's about like a halfway house for like slashers and like movie monsters and shit.
Oh yes.
And then like one of their victims like goes there to try to get revenge or something along those lines. But I'm pretty stoked to read that one too.
Yeah, it sounded cool. The premise sounded pretty funny.
And sticking to Joey's kind of theme here with shiny ass fucking records.
Yeah.
I got The End and Cult Leader split on. Hold on, I'll pull it out here. Silver and Black.
Nice. I love those marble effect ones like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice vinyl.
Yeah, that's all that's new for me this week.
That's cool.
Yeah, and for people that are watching, they're probably enjoy music, so might as well shout out that Botch has a reissue coming out. I pre-ordered it on Hello, their 25th anniversary. What's the album title? Novenos? Is that it?
American Nervoso?
Yeah, Nervoso, that's it. That one's out for pre-order, and also Quicksand's split album, whatever, is up for pre-order now. It's been sold out on a couple sites already, so if you want that, maybe get out there and get on it, because there's a couple sites that was already sold out. So what's the site you sent me, Matt? Odeon, what was the site? The record shop online?
Death Wish?
For the Quicksand, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Death Wish Incorporated's website.
Was it? Okay, yeah. Anyway, that one was sold out. They only had the deluxe comes with a booklet and stuff, and that was $136. So I was like,
fuck that.
Not getting that. Fuck that.
No. You better come play a live show in my room if I'm paying $136 for your record.
But the Have Heart album, those just came out recently too. Those are pretty recent, so those are out in shops right now. So you could probably still get your hands on those if you're a fan and want to get those. So, yeah.
What's up, Manny? What's up, Sergio? What you guys up to? I think that's Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio's back, baby.
How you doing, buddy? I hope you're feeling good.
Yeah, man. Glad you're back and feeling well, man.
I was worried about you, kid.
Yeah. So, today, or tonight, I should say, talking about covers. Cover songs. I don't know. I enjoy cover songs. I mean, when they're done well, they're great. A lot of the ones that I'm going to talk about on my list tonight, I actually enjoy more than the original songs. So, yeah. And I think that's taking something that's already good and making it even better.
Well, I always like when somebody does something interesting with the cover. Like when you do it too close, sometimes that can work really well, but like a lot of times it doesn't. But I think we kind of all feel the same way with just our picks. I think we kind of all picked some really, really neat covers, some really different styles of already rockin' tunes, in my opinion, for the most part.
Yeah.
See, back in the 90s, I really started like Lagwagon's Brown Eyed Girl and stuff like that. I was like, oh, fuck, I was like really dug it. Then like Social Distortion had a Ring of Fire. And then I was like, man, I started making myself like a playlist of just like more like punk style cover songs to all these songs. And then not too long after that, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes formed, and they started just putting out like, they're just a cover band, right? Just doing punk covers of everything, right? So it kind of lost its luster for me after that. So, but I was like going out there and trying to find all these cool punk covers. Like Down by Law did their 500 Mile cover too, which was pretty cool. They had a video on the video channels and stuff. So yeah, so I started getting into it a lot more then.
And Manny, man, I forgot all about this cover album. Did you guys ever listen to that? How terrible it was when the dude from Train did like the whole cover album of Led Zeppelin 2?
No, but
how amazing of a musician he was.
Coalesce's Led Zeppelin cover album is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I listened to that too. You had mentioned it to me a while back, so I went and listened to it. And it's hard to find though. You can't get it like on. It's not on Spotify. I had to go on YouTube and get it off YouTube.
Yeah, that
I'm
means
not
they probably didn't
surprised.
want to. They probably didn't want to pay Led Zeppelin prices and stuff when they came
Yeah.
asking them for royalties. So like, yeah, it's probably rare.
Mm. Yeah, like there was one from your picks, Johnny, that I had to go on YouTube. I couldn't get it off Spotify.
Which one?
The Black Dahlia murder.
Oh yeah, Painted Black. That was
Painted
only
Black.
available
Mm,
on one of their really early demos that they put out.
yeah.
They used to play it live before Miasma came out. Then they kind of just got tired because everybody always requested them to play it. But so it was kind of
Because
like
that
a
came.
rare deep cut of theirs.
Because I was looking, it came out in 2002, and Spotify only has it stuff for them from 2003 and on. So maybe it was like you said when they first early on, and yeah. But that actually, you want to talk about that song now? That'll be our first one.
Okay, since you brought
Seeing
it
as
up,
how,
yeah.
seeing as how, yeah. I actually, that's one I listened to. Out of all your picks, I think this is the one I enjoyed the most. The
Really?
Painted Black. I find that song lyrical, like the lyrics, just the riffs, the beats, lends itself perfectly to like what kind of music is that? Is it like
That's
metal, like
melodic death metal.
melodic death metal? Like man, it was great. I loved it. It was perfect. Like just the lyrics and what they talk about, like paint it black. Like I mean, it fit perfectly. I mean, it fit perfectly for a death metal song. It was good. It was really good.
They actually started doing that really early on as a joke because of the band name and stuff like that, and like,
Okay.
and they ended up recording it, but like they're never really fond of it. Like, um, so like if you actually requested them to play it, they'd probably get mad at you. It's like one of those type of things. Like towards the end of their career,
Yeah.
or what? I guess they're still going. I found out that they started a tour. The guitar player singing now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's started singing now.
Yeah, he's the only like original member that's still in the band since Trevor passed last year. Yeah, I
Okay.
been listening to a lot of BDM again lately, and yeah, I got a little emotional there for a little bit. Like I never really got to because I was in the hospital when he passed. So
Oh,
like when I was getting better and stuff, and I was like really jamming out, like I got a little emotional listening to like a couple of their tracks, which is weird if you know their subject matter. But yeah, dude, their cover of Painted Black is incredible. It really
yeah.
just showcases what was truly incredible about the band. Like as far as death metal go, they were my favorite. Like I absolutely love Black Dahlia Murder, so it's like a long time favorite of mine, especially for like a death metal. There's quite a few really good death metal covers of old songs like that, but none that really just really grab you and just show you what the band is completely capable of, like what the Black Dahlia Murder did with their cover of Painted Black. It's
Yeah.
like that's
I'm not.
already like I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan, but that is like my favorite song of theirs. I think it's the only song that they really played that had like any kind of really emotion to it, or I don't know, at least like really rocked me to my core. So like I'm really critical of covers of it because a lot of people have covered Painted Black, but there are a few that do it as good as like and as different as Black Dahlia Murder because like they didn't try to like half-ass like play it 60s style and then do metal. No, the thing just starts out just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know like their style. They don't try to
Yeah. That's it.
sugarcoat it. They're like this
No.
is the Black Dahlia Murder's version of it.
Yeah. I'm not. I wasn't familiar with them at all. So I was like, but coming from you, I kind of I could take a guess of what kind of music it was going to be, but it was good. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Out of the ones that you threw out there, that one was. I like that one. It was really good. So, who wants to go next? Playing too close to the original? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that's the thing. Like cover bands that don't change it enough, or yeah, like why even bother? If you're gonna play it straight, why even bother? Like I don't see the point of it. Mm, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're like one of those virtuoso people and you're playing like a really really hard piece of music, like you know that's written just to be like a maestro. Like I
Mm,
can understand like playing, but like even that, like I would want you to change it up and try to make it your own. Like I think, yeah, just people that do like straight up covers, it can work and you can do a good job, but like it's nowhere, not going to be anywhere near as interesting as if you try to actually do it in your own way, in my opinion. Even
mm,
if you,
yeah.
Matt,
Oh,
Or Joe, go ahead.
Matt has a whole album, so I'll go. Then we can touch on Matt's because we'll probably have like 3 or 4 songs to talk about. So I'll just there's one here that I picked that's more for Johnny. I picked this one, and I just found out about this song not too long ago. So it's kind of a pick that I figured Johnny would appreciate. Is Gulch, the Monkey Gone to Heaven. They did a cover of Pixies. Monkeys. I mean, I find they didn't change it all that much. Like it's pretty straight for the most part, except for some of the singing at times. But it was pretty good, and I know Johnny's a fan of this band, so I thought I'd just throw that one in there, just kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a break from like their normal style, but I think that they still gulched it up, man. Like, cause that dude just howls. Like, he doesn't even try to sing like the dude from the Pixies at all in it. Like, really, like some of the musical stylings are there, but like I would say that.
See, musically, I thought they'd probably try to change it a little more, but I thought like musically they kind of kept it pretty similar. Like they didn't go too heavy with it or anything. You know, they kind of kept. They didn't like put the tempo up, or they kept the same tempo. But like the singing is probably the part where they differ. They changed it up a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And you know, I was listening to the podcast this week with one of the members from Gulch. She was on Know Your Scene. I don't know if you saw it. I posted it in the chats, Johnny. I don't know if you're interested in going to listen to that, but and that's where I heard them talking about it on there. So I went and listened to it. And yeah, so I threw it into the, seeing as how we're talking about covers, I figured, why not? I'll throw it in mine on my list.
Hell yeah. I didn't even really know about it, like, but yeah, I'm glad you pointed it out because like I really liked Gulch. Like they were a really short-lived band, but man, were they really good for at least the time, you know what I mean? Like they were at least doing something really interesting.
It's pretty cool because in the interview he touches on that. He was like, yeah, we were just a band just to fuck around. We didn't even want to tour or anything. It was just a bunch of friends that got together and they're like, fuck, we have nothing better to do, so let's just fucking make some music. And they had no plans of like,
yeah,
like
they got too big.
Like, they're like,
for what they wanted to be. They got too big for what they wanted to be, which sucks. But like they were really good.
It's like it was always short term. Like everyone in that band always like the way he was talking is none of them ever had. Gulch was never going to be a long term thing for anyone in that band. So yeah, because they have what, 2 albums out, 2 EPs.
2 full lengths, and then like they did a split with Tsunami, and like they have a
couple
of random
they have
songs
that
here
Tsunami.
there.
Yeah. So that was a good listen. If you have time.
Did you enjoy it?
The podcast or the band, you mean?
The band, yeah.
I've listened to a few of their songs, and they're pretty good. Yeah, I like their stuff.
They're really violent, so I didn't know how you'd feel about them.
I didn't sit down and listen to a whole album yet. I should probably do that. Try that. But I listened to a couple songs here and there. The first time you mentioned them a couple months back, so.
They do a lot of really crazy time change-ups and stuff with their music, so I don't know if you like them. Or you'll have the problem with them you probably have with a lot of the metal bands. You won't know if it's the same song or not because they change up the sound of the tempo of the song a lot, like in a single track. So I was wondering if you would dig that as much because you didn't seem to with most metal.
Yeah, metal. It's more the singing, really. It's
okay.
It's the style of the way they sing, really. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody really sang like the dude from Gulch, so like you either liked him or not, I guess. He kind of reminded me of like some kind of possessed Muppet or something like that. Like he just really, really odd cadence and singing style.
Kind of looks like a Muppet now that you say that.
Little buff Muppet, yeah, dude. Like it's like a Henry Rollins Muppet. Like you kind of get the guy from Gulch.
All right, that was my first pick for tonight. All right, Fulci, man.
All right,
you got.
I'm gonna go with the Deftones covers album, and I'll just fucking throw up the track list there.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty eclectic. Got the Cars, Drive Like Jehu, The Smiths, Sade, Jawbox, Leonard Skinner, Duran Duran, Depeche Mode. I mean, it's all over the place, but I can listen to that whole album and like not skip any of it. And for a cover album, that's really fucking rare for me. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a soothing fucking album. I don't know. I've been a big Deftones fan since shit, I was in like middle school. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you bring them up quite often when
like
in discussions
like
and
what,
stuff.
95 when they came out. You've probably been listening to them.
I don't know if it was 95. When did Adrenaline come out? 96 or 97?
Was it that late? You might be right. You might be. I don't know. I was just about to start high school, so like I'd say 90. Yeah, 96. Then I don't know. I was thinking 95.
But yeah, it is a really good cover. I like it. It's really accessible too. Like anybody that's just into music, like not even like rock music, could get into this album. I feel like, and it's, I don't know, it's one of my favorite like all around cover albums. There's a few that I was thinking about doing for the show, but I felt like this was the most accessible one, and yeah, I fucking love that album.
Well, I mean, like we pointed out before we came on, like they do a cover of "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner, which you wouldn't expect the Deftones to do.
And it's fucking solid.
Yeah, an album with the Sade cover and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when in the DMs you're like, "Oh yeah, the Deftones cover album." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Then I was like, "What's the name of the album?" you're like laughing. Covers. I was like, "Oh, okay." So they didn't like. I was like, "Okay, it's pretty straightforward." Then it's a covers album called Covers. Yeah.
What are a few of your key picks off of it, Matt? Which ones would you really recommend people checking out to get into the album?
It opens with "Drive" by the Cars, and it's a stellar fucking cover, man. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably my favorite song, probably my favorite cover on here, but like I don't want to take away from anything else either, because it's just like the whole thing is good.
That first song, I was in bed like after you posted it, so I was in bed and I put it on my phone on Spotify, and that first song came on, and Pat's like, "Damn, that's a good fucking cover." I was like, yeah. I said, it's Deftones. It's all covers of different stuff like that, like known bands, known tunes. And did I understand that correctly when I was reading up on it? They kind of they did like a cover song for each album, and then they compiled them all together. Is it seems to me I read that.
I know they had like bonus tracks and shit for definitely not every album, but I think for like 2 or 3 of their more recent ones, and they threw those on there, but I don't think it was.
I mean, I know
most
it's
of the album wasn't.
It's not technically a Deftones song, but it kind of sucks they didn't put the cover of "Wicked" that Chino sang for Korn on there, because that's a really good Deftones cover as well, man. Like I don't rep Korn usually, but like "Life Is Peachy" was a pretty good album, and that cover with Chino doing "Wicked" by Ice Cube, fucking beautiful cover, man.
See, Cookie loves the Sade cover.
It's a good song.
Hey, dude, Chino's one of the few guys in rock I could see that it could actually nail that sound too, man. Like he does
too.
He's got that hellified love voice, man. Like he knows how to, he got a white thing going on.
Which Sade song is it that he covers?
No Ordinary Love.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was a good one. I was listening to it at work. Yeah.
There's a few covers that I've seen them do over the years that I wish they would have thrown on this. Remember, I know that they've covered Right Brigade from the Bad Brains. That would have been awesome. They did Say It Ain't So by Weezer a lot, which would have been cool. And Milk by SOD. That would have been fucking cool. Actually, I think
maybe they'll put out
they put that out on a 7-inch for like a record store day or something like that.
Maybe it'll be a future release. They'll put out like covers too, or uncovers or something. I don't know. Put out another one with all their other cover songs.
Yeah, I'm sure that they've got more, and I'd buy it.
Yeah, I was impressed with like you said, to do an entire album of covers, and like you said, I don't think there's a single miss in that whole list. Like every song is great, good, great or good. Like I don't think any of them are even mediocre. Like they're all good or great. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. All right, Johnny. What you got next?
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with some punk rock shit, and I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite bands covering other bands. There's a really good split between NoFX and Rancid, where like they cover each other's songs. And my favorite is the last song on the album, and it is a cover of "Radio" by Rancid. But Fat Mike does it in his Bob Marley Reggae Man voice, and it's just such a different, neat, fun cover, and you could just tell that they had a lot of fun recording it. I think it's just really, really badass.
Yeah. I had a hard time finding this. I had to go on YouTube.
Oh, really?
I was like, yeah.
That's weird.
They didn't have it on Spotify. I was like, so then I went and looked, and it was off a split, like a smaller album from 2002, and they didn't have it on Spotify, so I had to go find it on.
Wow, it's on BYO Records. They used to be pretty big. Like I don't know if they're.
So when I do my playlist, if I can't find the cover, maybe what I'll do is I'll just throw the original song on instead of the cover if I can't find it on Spotify, just to have it there. But yeah, it was definitely. I didn't even recognize the song at first. It took me a while before I realized what the fuck the cover was of. Yeah,
because they do it straight up reggae style. Yeah, it's really. They nail it. I think they do a better job nailing reggae with that than they did with "Kill All the White Man," which is, utter masterpiece.
I'm interested to hear what Fulci has to say because he made a face.
Yeah, I wasn't. I remember being super hyped for this when it was coming out. I didn't think it was that fucking great, to be honest with you. And I love both of these bands. I just kind of it sounded to me like shit. I don't know. It seemed more like a cash grab to me than them wanting to do it. Because I don't know. It seems like they recorded it real quick. And I'm not going to say the whole thing's garbage because there are some songs that I do really enjoy, but I think NoFX's side is better than Rancid's. I just was not a fan of Rancid's side at all.
So what is it? NoFX did covers of Rancid, and Rancid did covers of NoFX.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
No, but I meant
in my opinion.
The idea is cool. Like I'm saying, I didn't listen to the album, so I don't. Like you're saying, the execution wasn't good. But I like the idea of it. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, I'd have rather heard some new songs.
Yeah, Rancid kind of did NoFX stuff like street punk, like British street punk, and NoFX. I don't know, like. The radio cover is really good. That's all I'm gonna like, and I'm sure Fulci will agree with me. The radio cover is fucking solid.
Yeah, that one and the El Corazon de Oro are my two favorite songs on there. But both of them are on the NoFX side. That Rancid side, I tried to put it on again, like after I woke up from my nap, and I was like, yeah, I'm turning that right the fuck off.
Maybe if I look at under Rancid, they might have it under Rancid if I look at Spotify. I'll have to go back and check under Rancid, yeah. Because the same thing happened when I was looking for the that new band there with Fat Mike and Get Dead.
Co-defendants?
Yeah, Co-defendants. I had to go under Get Dead to find the Co-defendants. So
yeah.
Hey Al. All right, now we're gonna have a little maybe some back and forth and some fighting in the chats now.
Sergio's gonna put you back in line on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they get. Well, maybe they'll get an early start here. Get warmed up for Sunday. Yeah. So it was definitely. See, I didn't know what this album was at all. So when I was listening to it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then when I went and tried to find the album, that's when I found out it was like Rancid and No Effects and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Radio, yeah." So it. See, once again, I wasn't quick to the. Took me a minute to figure it out there. But like you said, I like the idea. Like, I didn't listen to the Rancid side. I just listened to the one song that Johnny picked as his pick. I didn't listen to any of the other stuff because I just didn't. I was just trying to get through everything and listen to everything before the show. So I'll have to go back and listen to the Rancid side and let you know what I think.
You might like it. Like, yeah. I mean, it's just, it wasn't for me. I just felt like they were like, yeah, we'll do it, and then they went in and recorded like one takes and said, all right, let's get the fuck out of here because this is retarded.
When I went and checked, maybe the internet was wrong. Because when I checked, they credited Billy Joe Armstrong as one of the co-writers for Radio.
He was.
Yes.
He was? Okay.
Yeah, he's good friends. He was almost actually going to be the guitar player for he's going to be Lars's place, but Green Day was popping at the time. He did like a handful of shows with Rancid and at the time, and like they were pretty close. Like they grew up in the same scene. Like Green Day is from Rodeo and Rancid was from like right around Berkeley area. I think Richmond is where they're actually from.
So I saw he had his name in the credits for the song, so I was like, oh man, I didn't know he co-wrote or whatever he did on that song. So it was just, maybe I was like, sometimes, the internet, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Especially if you hear it here.
All right. So I guess I'm up next again. I'll go with, seeing as how you're talking about a little bit of reggae style, I'll go with my reggae pick. I'll do Little Roy. He did a whole album of Nirvana covers called, the album's called Battle for Seattle. And I love this album. This is a great summer album for me. I like playing this while I'm driving my car in the summer. I don't have the track list with me, so I couldn't tell you all the songs on it, but pretty much all the bigger hits are on there with maybe a few other lesser known tunes. But man, never would I have ever thought that Nirvana would translate well into reggae style. Like I love every song on this album, like from start to finish. I can't say there's a bad song on the album, except for maybe the one that's a little bit. What's the one where he goes to Grandma's house and?
Grandma Take Me Home. Yeah.
Grandma Take Me Home. That's maybe that's the weakest song on the album, reggae style. It's maybe a little more cheesy and kind of but every other song is good or great. Like, I mean, I don't know.
What would you say is the best one?
Reggae?
Is it like legit reggae or is it like phony reggae? Because I'm kind of a purist. I gotta if I'm listening to like real reggae, not like ska or something like that.
No, it's reggae. It's reggae.
Okay.
It's straight up reggae. Yeah. It's no ska. It's just straight up reggae.
I mean, I can listen to that stuff too, but like if you're gonna try to sell me on reggae, it's got to be pretty proper.
No, it's good. On a Plane, that one was pretty good. what are some of the? Anyway, I mean, I like they're all good. They're all good. I mean, there's maybe 16 tracks on that album, so it's got quite a few tracks, and they're all pretty good. Yeah. And I don't think Little Roy isn't super well known. Like I went and tried to find a bunch of his. He has a bunch of stuff, but nothing. No, like big known hits like that.
He
Other
ain't a
people maybe.
crossover, but like he's big in reggae.
Yeah, yeah.
Type of guy,
That's
right?
what I mean. But not like you won't hear
He hasn't
like
crossed
any.
over. Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
do songs with Taylor Swift or anything like that.
no,
So
like
you won't know him like on radio.
like even on radio, you probably won't hear any of his
Yeah.
songs like on the reggae channel or anything like that. So, but man, he did a great job with this album. Fantastic. But like I said,
Thanks, Manny. Have a good one.
you can skip that "Grandma Take Me Home" song. It's near the end of the album too, so I think he probably knew it wasn't as good, so he put it at the end. He's like,
Well, I mean, I think that song was always a filler track, right? Like even
But
when
he has a
Nirvana
few
did
of
it, it
the,
was just
yeah. He takes a lot of some of the hits, and he takes a few of the B-sides too, and yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it because I don't care for the originals, so I don't need to hear any other versions of those songs.
Yeah, but you might be surprised, man. You might
Nah, I doubt
think
it.
it's better.
Great pick, Joey.
Yeah, but Little Roy, Battle for Seattle. I mean, go check it out, man. Like,
It's an interesting idea. I'm with Matt. Like, it'd be a battle to get me to like listen to it because of my feelings for like the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It sounds interesting enough in concept. I might listen to it after the show and give it a.
See, I would have never listened to this, but then a friend of mine lent it to me. He's like, "Oh, listen to this. You might like it." So I popped it into the car, like my CD player in the car, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's pretty damn good." Like if someone was like, if I saw it somewhere, like, "Oh, a reggae album that's all Nirvana covers," I'd have been like, I probably would have just passed by it and not given it a second thought. But because one of my buddies burnt it for me and gave me a copy and said, "Hey, play this and listen to it," and I actually listened to it, and I was like, "Fuck, this is way better than it should have been." Like Nirvana reggae, right there, it wasn't a selling point.
Yeah,
for me.
like the way
And
you
I was like,
just hearing that, I think of that Adam Sandler song about the car. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I picture, like all the songs. And I'm just like, you know, that's why when you're like mentioning it, I'm like, huh.
yeah, me too. The first time I was like, he's like, no. He's like, "I'll burn you a copy and listen to it," and I did, and I was like, damn, it's pretty fucking good. Like I was really surprised at how good it was. Yeah. So I know Matt won't listen to it anyway, but I mean,
I will not.
No.
But
so.
like a reggae Jesus and Mary Chain album, like he's there.
That's it. If you don't want Matt to kill himself or go crazy, lock him in a room of just Jesus and Mary Chain reggae.
No,
covers.
I'm finding a way out of that room and murdering whoever did that. Slow.
Yeah. All right, man. What do you got, Johnny?
Matt's done. He just had that one.
Yeah, he had unless he has something else, but all he posted.
I'm gonna talk about some stuff he can chime in on then. Like my next.
I know you're gonna talk about some stuff off of Writer's Block, and I was gonna just say that whole album, but I know you were gonna mention it, so.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and bring that up since you can probably really chime in about that because you actually knew the band a little bit. So yeah, there's a little Florida hardcore metalcore band called Evergreen Terrace. They were big for about a minute, and during the MySpace days, I think they got much bigger anywhere else. I think they were pretty much a MySpace band, right? They were on Eulogy.
I mean,
they were pretty good.
They were big in Florida, and then they got big or whatever for that 5 days, and I don't know. They were just so terrible live, and like the first time I thought it was their equipment, and then it happened like every other time I saw them, like bad enough to the point where I would just like leave during their sets.
And you like their stuff beforehand.
Yeah, I mean their
Oh,
albums are
their
pretty
albums are
good.
great. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
but them live was just awful.
because they're another one of those bands like you were talking about. Like they have like 3 different singers. Like the guitar player sings. They got a guy that just screams, but he's barely even does anything. And then they have another guy that's I think a bass player sings too. So like they got a really kind of cool range of vocals. And I don't know, like the Writer's Block album's a lot of fun though. It's I think it was
Yeah.
after their second full length album they came out with it.
Yeah, I think it was like
And
2004 or something like that.
And that's all cover songs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all covers.
That the entire
it's all-
album is cover songs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's all over the place. They do The Kids Aren't All Right by by Offspring. They do a Smashing Pumpkins song. Which one? They do
Zero.
Yeah, the
Okay.
God is ugly just like me song. Yeah.
Right, they throw the breakdown after that.
Yeah. They do really good covers of them. They do
Yeah.
they did
Dying Degree by NoFX is on there, which was a odd choice, but it's a solid fucking cover. Maniac.
my personal favorite. Yeah, they do the theme song from Flashdance, Maniac. A really good cover. Their guitar player kind of has like this really good butt rock voice anyway, so like he just sings the hell out of it, and it sounds quite a bit like the original. But like when it gets metal and gets heavy, they really do the breakdowns well. I think it's a pretty good mix of the original song with like a metal version of it. Like they really tear it up.
It took me a little while. I was like, Maniac, and I was listening to it because that's the song you picked from the album. So I went and listened to that one specifically. Like you said, it's pretty heavy and stuff. And I was like, I couldn't figure. I was like, Maniac. What's the Maniac song? So I'm listening to it. Then when it breaks into the chorus, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Maniac on the dance floor. I was like, I know this one. Yeah. Now I know what I'm listening to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a funny song to pick to do a cover too, and
Yeah, it's a really eclectic mix, like the whole album.
Yeah.
They
So
do a really
you'd
good-
say like the entire album is good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really solid. It's probably
Just
the
don't-
second best after my Deftones pick. Like as far as like a whole record that's
Whole
nothing
record?
but covers,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably my second favorite like covers album, just because it's solid from start to finish.
So Johnny picked Maniac as his favorite song from that album. What would be your favorite song from the album?
I don't know, man. Hold on, I need to pull up the track list to see if I'm forgetting anything.
And like you said, they were just terrible live.
So bad.
Yeah.
Like every time. I kept trying to give them like the benefit of the doubt, and it was just like,
is it because they get too fucked up and just can't play?
No,
no, they're straight edge band.
They weren't getting fucked up, but
well, I don't know if they were, but they did a split album with Casey Jones, which were a really big Florida straight edge band. So I figured that they were too.
Man, that's tough. I really like their cover of Mad World. That was really good.
By Tears for Fears, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Donnie Darko song, if people don't recognize.
Yeah, the one
title.
from what was that on Gears of War? I think commercial they had that.
They do Mad World on Gears of War.
Yeah, isn't that
it?
For the commercial, for the ad, for the Gears of War. Yeah, I remember that. That's what a lot of people I know that song Mad World is because of that commercial.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, from the Gears of War commercial for.
So all the chicks I knew that like back in my day used to know it from Donnie Darko. So when I
Donnie Darko,
when I play that on the guitar, they'd be like, "Oh, the Donnie Darko song." Their cover of "Sunday Bloody Sunday" is really good on it. Of course, that's just a reissue. They had that on
a previous album.
What was that one called? The one that "Losing All Hope is Freedom." It's the quote from Fight Club. Is the name of the album.
Okay.
"Losing All Hope is Freedom" or whatever that is was the name of the record.
Okay.
What's that Sponge cover that they do on there?
Oh yeah, they do the cover of Plowed, which is really good.
Yeah.
It's the same song that was on in Empire Records. It wasn't on the
Yeah,
soundtrack
Empire
though.
Records.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
World of Human Wreckage song, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll have to give that whole album a listen then, because
You'll enjoy it, man. I really think
Johnny
you will.
just posted the Maniac, so I just, like I said, I
Mhm.
was going through it quick, so I listened to that, and then
If you enjoyed that, then you'll enjoy the rest of the record because it's pretty much that, but with every style of whatever song they're covering. Like
Yeah.
they put they put their own spin on everything at the same time, but it's kind of straightforward cover as well. So it works out really well. It's just a solid album all the way through, I think.
Yeah, they pick
I mean,
songs that fit their strengths as a band. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least as a studio band.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it straight as long as you maybe change the tempo a little, or just tweak it just to make
like
it your own style.
The Offspring
Like,
cover is real. The Offspring cover is going to be really close. The Sponge cover is really close. Like, there's just a little bit of screaming in both of those added, but like, I don't know. The Offspring covers were really close. Like,
see, like I mentioned earlier, like Social Distortion, Ring of Fire, like it isn't dramatically different from the original, but they did just enough to make it their own, right? Put their own little twist on it. So as long as like a band does that, then it's fine. But like you said, like just a straight, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely give that album a listen now that.
Well, I mean, one thing that you can hear is like they were just being dipshits on the album, having fun doing goofy songs and shit. So like,
especially
you can
when it
kind of
gets to the
feel a
chorus.
sense of, yeah.
That's what I felt like. Like I was listening to it and it's all super serious. Then when he gets to the chorus on Maniac, I was like, it almost felt like he was gonna start laughing in the middle of singing the chorus, right? Like it almost felt like he was gonna just crack up and start.
Yeah,
laughing,
you can feel that they had a good time making
that album. Yeah.
Regardless of how bad it had to have sounded to whoever was producing it.
Man, that guy
studio magic, man.
Yeah, that guy did a lot of work. I can tell you that much.
Definitely
Ruben looked like a novice and shit. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go with another one that you're both gonna hate. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Patti. I'm gonna go with Patti Smith's cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Like old ass Patti Smith, like horses. Patti Smith.
Patti Smith, man. Like
I actually enjoy that cover.
Yeah, I love that. It's like her version of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is 10 times better than the original.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna shit on this one. So. But Patti Smith, like, man, it's such. She takes like a song that I couldn't stand ever hearing again, and I never would want to hear this song ever again as long as I lived. And then I heard that and I was like, fuck. Like I was like, she make me like this song again, like I think I was sick of this song after the first month.
Oh yeah,
it played so much on the radio that it just
I was gonna say it'd be impossible not to, even if you liked it.
Yeah, exactly. But she managed to take it. She gives it kind of a folky, kind of slows it down, makes it really folky, and just it almost seems more soulful. Like the way she sings it like she makes it her own. Like it's not like it almost doesn't even feel like she's singing someone else's song. It almost feels like hers.
Yeah, I wish it was the original song.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like this is one of the cases where the cover is superior to the original by far. Yeah, exactly. So
I really like the cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Blank 77. Like I don't know if you ever heard that one.
I have a long time ago.
It's what you'd expect the Blank 77 doing it to sound like, man. It sounds like the original song, like if Lobo smoked some pink kryptonite and recorded "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Goddamn pink kryptonite, man. It'll get you every time.
It's really good. It's just pogo punk to the bone, Hello. Really good. And so, like, if you
No,
want to check out another really good cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit," there's a couple of them out there. I don't think it's a really too hard a song to do over a better version than the original, personally. But yeah, like, I know that there's at least two of them.
yeah, but loved it. Love that song. I'm happy you liked it. In fact, that was one of the two that I of my picks. I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna like. I was like, they probably won't like this, but
Kind of disappointed. I was hoping you were going to pick something I really didn't like, just so I could
well,
talk shit. But
I have two more that
that are questionable.
yeah,
All right.
especially one especially one is very
Oh,
questionable
all right.
that you
I'll
probably
hold you to that.
neither one of you will probably like. But I mean, I like a lot of different stuff, so
Yeah,
you know.
that Blank 77 cover made me think of one that I really like. It's The Unseen doing Beat It by Michael Jackson. It's the secret song on their album So This Is Freedom. God damn, it's so good. Like, think of just the street punk version of that song, and that's what it sounds like.
Jesus, I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's fucking great, dude.
Unseen. Did you just buy an album from them recently?
No.
I thought it was Unseen was the one that you didn't think you were gonna get.
Unsane. That was Unsane.
Unsane. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you were like, they're gonna screw me over. They're not sending me my record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Unseen, Unsane. Okay. Two different bands. Imagine if they did a tour together. Fuck.
I would hope. Maybe back
like,
in the day, but
who's like
I'm not a big fan of the Unseen anymore. Like,
no.
it got kind of crappy. But their first couple records are fucking
good.
awesome.
I'd like to go to a tour and see both of the Subhumans bands play. I'd like the Canadian and the British band.
Yeah.
Did you see that the Subhumans are putting out a box set of all their early stuff? Yeah, they're putting out a whole box set of all their early releases on red vinyl, and they're going to do a reissue of all their earlier stuff that you can buy individually on different.
I got it all on CD. I'm good.
If you want all the red and black, no, but I'm just saying you brought it up. I just saw it today. They just posted it today on Instagram. So if anyone listening loves them and wants to pick up the vinyls.
If you don't own it yet, yeah, dude, the EP, LP albums are really good. Like their first 4 EPs, probably their best stuff they put out. The Day the Country Died, of course, is a masterpiece. Time Flies, Airplanes Crash. Like I can recommend like all their stuff is pretty good. And the Canadian Subhumans are good as well. I don't know if you ever checked them out. They're more of like a old school hardcore band, but
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anyone's listening, they like Subhumans. I just saw today they're putting out a box set of their earlier stuff. That'll be red and black vinyl. And they'll be reissuing each of those albums individually. You can buy them separately, one, and it'll be it won't be red and black. The red and black will be exclusive to the box set, but it'll be colored vinyl, different colors for the other albums that they'll sell individually will be reissued as well. So I thought I'd just, seeing as how I just saw it today, and they have a Kickstarter too, some kind of book.
Yeah, they're putting out a documentary, right, or some kind of a retrospective thing.
Yeah, a book. Yeah, retro, like a biography kind of thing. I don't think it's a movie. I think it's a book, actually, that kind of does their whole history and all their stuff. So, yeah, there's a few things coming out for Subhumans. So if anyone's fans there, go check the Kickstarter, which I don't know if it's not done, it'll be close to being done by now. So you could still go maybe get in on that. All right, Johnny, I think it's your pick.
And I'm going to go with the old school punk rock one. It's one of my favorite punk rock covers ever. It's off of not quite a good album, but like, I don't know, you guys are Adolescence fans. Did you ever listen to their album Brats and Battalions?
Yeah, I definitely have.
Well, their cover of House of the Rising Sun is probably the best track on there, man. It's probably like, I love the harmonica in the song, and I just like the way they do it, bluesy style.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Hardcore to the bone, man. It's just so radical, man. Just like really good mashup of both the bluesy and the punk rock, like with the shredding guitars and that raunchy blues harp just going. Like it is one of the most incredible like punk rock cover songs I've ever heard. Really, really just encapsulates the song really well. The singer is more emotive than I've ever heard him in any other songs, and I really like the Adolescents, especially the first album, the Blue
Mm-hmm.
album. So to give that kind of credit, it's really good. But yeah, just out of nowhere they pull out this song. It doesn't really fit anything else on the album or their discography. But if you never heard it, like definitely look up the Adolescents cover of House of the Rising Sun off of Brats and Battalions. So radical, man.
Right on.
And I
Cool.
mean it.
That's not like a hidden song or anything. That's just straight up.
No, it's the
In with
second
the
to
rest
last
of the
song on the
tracks.
album.
Okay. Yeah, that's good when they do it that way, though. If, like you say, it doesn't quite fit with the rest of the album, you put it near the bottom. So then people are getting there and like, oh, what the fuck is this? You know, and it just closes the album. Sometimes it's a little better than it right in the middle. It's kind of, oh, it's too different. It's kind of jarring when it's right in the middle. But if you like finish off play like your track list with it,
Most bands I know do it at the end, like
Yeah.
especially punk bands, like because AFI, whenever they do like a Misfits cover, or like when they did like Last Caress was like the last song on the Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes album, and then the Filth cover was also like towards the end of that. Yeah, the Dropkick Murphys, when they did their couple Misfits covers, those were at the end of the albums. So like I think it's a good way to do it. Like
Yeah.
unless you're like doing it like as a recording it as like an old timey record where you're thinking of having an A side and a B side, and you like want to cap both sides off like they used to, like maybe having a nice cover at the end of the first side.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I agree with you. At the end of the track, you know, you do your cover song, and then I think it's a good way to close it out, especially if it's solid. If it's a good one, it's a good way to close out an album. All right, so here's I'm up next, and I'll you guys probably won't like this one. It's Dustin Kensrue. He does a cover of Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, and I like this song. I think it's great. I hate the original song, but I like his version of it. It's really good. Dustin Kensrue, if people aren't familiar with him, he's the frontman singer for Thrice.
Okay.
He does a lot of solo stuff, and this is like off one of his solo albums. He did a cover of Wrecking Ball, and I mean, he kills it. I mean, never in the world would I have ever thought I'd be like, oh, I'm a fan of that song. Never I thought I'd ever say that in my life, but I'm a fan of the song because of his version. So yeah, it's really good. It's slow. He's got a good kind of bluesy, raspy kind of style of voice when he does like slower, like his own stuff. So it fits really good. And like he built like all of his solo stuff, a lot of his songs, he builds it up. Like there's definitely a progression, and he, you know, it gets more intense as he goes. Not faster, but just in the way he sings and how much energy he puts into it.
How is his typical solo stuff? Does he normally do pop now, or is he kind of still more doing? Is he still doing
his
kind of
solo
hard rock?
stuff is, it's more like bluesy rock. Like he'll do a lot of he has Blood and Wine, which is very kind of folk rocky, bluesy folk rock kind of, and same thing. Like he starts it off slow, and then he just builds his songs, and then it takes off. Like Blood and Wine is another good one that I really like. Kind of has a little bit of a rockabilly, country, bluesy rock kind of vibe to it. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of all his stuff, but he definitely has a few jams that I really enjoy. And I like his voice. I like the style of his voice for his solo stuff. So, and Thrice too has a few jams that I like. So I'm not the biggest fan of Thrice either, but they definitely have 3 or 4 songs that I really enjoy.
Yeah, they were all right. Like that time when like them and Thursday ruled the world. Yeah, they were pretty rad.
Right.
I had a lot of girlfriends that wore Thrice t-shirts.
Maybe that's why he started doing a lot of solo stuff, you know?
Didn't
want to share
probably
the
didn't hurt us.
Didn't want to share the action with his bandmates, you know? Put out more girl-friendly stuff.
But I have to ask, man, like when he comes in really hard on the chorus, would you say he comes in like a wrecking ball?
Definitely. There, I got it.
It could be worse. He could be doing Taylor Swift covers, man. Like,
Yeah, true. At least Miley has a little bit more character than Taylor. You know.
Yeah, she was weird. Like at least she
Yeah.
had that going for her.
Yeah. Well, she's isn't Dolly Parton her godmother?
That's not even the weirdest thing. Like her dad's the weirdest thing. Like, but
Yeah, they got ties like to Dolly Parton somehow. I don't know
do they
exactly,
really?
but yeah. I'll ask Pat too, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So like they're in like the old school country music mafia. Then like,
Man, I've got like 3 or 4 clips I can clip now of Fulci so far this episode. He's made a few
just
faces.
doing the cringe faces. Yeah.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
see those come into play later.
Yeah. So that one, that's one of the ones I wasn't sure if you guys would. I don't know if you listened to it, but
I didn't.
It sounds interesting. Like it doesn't sound like
I'll give
sounds
it a
like something
shot.
that could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
know who the
definitely
dude was. I thought he was just like another weird Canadian guy, you know, because sometimes you come at us with these Canadian bands that we never heard
Yeah.
of. So
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
Yeah. No, he's
I
the
think
singer
I
for
thought he
Christ.
might have. I thought he
Solo
might have been
stuff.
a guy that does shows with peanut butter sundae, thick glasses, and glitter pants. You know,
Yeah,
like
Actually, you bring that up. I'm going
Oh no.
next weekend's when I'm going to see Met. The
oh hell yeah!
the Mets is next weekend. Yeah, I'm going up to
Dude,
Quebec.
you need to see if you could get Fulci like either a thick glasses or a peanut butter sundae shirt, or see if peanut butter sundae actually
Overalls?
sells like overalls.
I'll try to-
Yes.
I'll try to rip the overalls off one of the guys and have him sign it, and I'll mail it to Fulci. You can hang it up in his room.
Oh man.
If you get me one of their shirts, I'll fucking wear it.
No, I won't spend money on that.
Yeah.
They won't be
So-
there anyway that night. It's a band called Fudge that's opening up for the Mets.
Even better shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe they might have some interesting T-shirts. Actually, I'll have to look
Uh-huh.
because I listen to a bit of their music and it's all like a little bit proggy, like a lot of '70s rock influence. A lot of their stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's kind of fudgy, you know, like okay, the name fits.
Yeah. So anyway, that's next weekend. Next Saturday, I'm going to see them. So reserve the hotel room and stuff because I don't feel like driving 3 hours that night to come back home. Yeah. So next weekend, Mets. Looking forward to that. It should be cool. All right, Johnny, what you got next?
Next up, I got a prog rock metal cover of a classic prog song. Between the Buried and Me, they're probably my favorite band ever. They kind of tied to my first pick, Black Dahlia Murder. The first time I ever saw Between the Buried and Me, I saw them. They were opening for Black Dahlia Murder. It was when Miasma was coming out and Alaska was first coming out for Between the Buried and Me, and they blew me the fuck away. I'd never seen a band that sounded like that live, but when they put out their cover album called Anatomy of After Colors, it was really weird because Silent Circus, Colors in Alaska, they're kind of grindy, not quite grindcore, but like there's definitely like a really jazzy, grindy element to it. They'd done parts of their songs where they break into clean vocals and kind of really nice parts of the songs, but nothing quite like they did when they covered Bicycle Race by Queen
Yeah,
on
dude.
the Anatomy of album, which blew me the fuck. The band that I didn't think I could love anymore did probably one of my favorite Queen songs, one of the weird rare tracks of theirs. I guess Bicycle Race was a hit, but it's not one of their big ones that you'd think a band would pick. And they totally nail it, man. Like they play it in their own way. They don't really make it too heavy. They definitely play it a little closer to Queen
Yeah.
than their normal
Mhm.
style.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was really neat to hear the band break that far from their normal style and go that clean and do a song like, you know, that traditionally, but at the same time still keep it metal as they
Yeah,
could
they
without
definitely give
ruining
it their flavor. Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
has a flavor to it for sure. Yeah, this was probably my second favorite song from your picks was this one. I enjoyed this one as well. Is this song from that album that you picked it from? Is that a cover album or is this just
Yeah.
one?
That's all
Album now.
covers.
It's all
That's all a
covers.
cover as well. What about the rest of the songs on the album? Are they just as good or?
They vary. Like it's very eclectic. They cover everything from like Soundgarden to Counting Crows to King Diamond. They do a really good cover
Okay.
of Blackened by Metallica. They do Kickstart My Heart, which is one of my
Okay.
other favorite covers off the album. They do The Day I
Sepultura.
Tried to Live. Yeah, they do
Okay.
Cemetery Gates. Like, it's all over the place. They actually do a Pink
Hmm.
Floyd cover on there too, which is funny because
Yeah.
everybody always calls them a Pink Floyd ripoff or the metal Pink Floyd. So it
Okay.
was cool to see them actually like embrace that side of them. And
Okay.
yeah, they do a Smashing Pumpkins cover on there too. They do Geek
Oh yeah.
USA, which is a really good cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I wasn't sure if that whole album was covers as well. Oh, that's cool,
Mhm.
man. So almost everything you picked was like full albums of covers. Pretty much, eh?
Yeah,
I think
a
so.
few of my picks. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So I'll have to give that one a listen to then as well.
I think you'll enjoy it because, like I said, like they picked some
Well, I
really
like.
choice bands and a lot of really weird choices. So
Yeah.
I mean, if the songs are almost as good as that Bicycle song, then for sure I'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Actually,
they are, yeah.
I actually really love that Counting Crows cover that they do on there.
Okay. Which one is it?
Oh man, I forget what it's song. It's the one where they actually took the name of the song from it. Like,
Is it Black
the name of the band
Coffee?
is? Yeah, I think it is Black Coffee. Here, let me look
Okay.
up really quick.
Okay. Cool. That's fun. I'll have to give that one a listen to. I'll download it onto my phone and listen to it at work there.
Yeah.
So I'll have 3 other albums to listen to now.
Yeah, that dude actually has like the vocal like strengths to like
Range, yeah.
to hit like Freddie Mercury levels. Like,
oh yeah,
he's got insane skills when it comes to singing.
Yeah, like that Bicycle song. He really definitely I'd say even challenges like.
Yeah, like he can pull that shit off live too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Tommy Rogers is an unreal good singer when he breaks into his cleans. He actually sings better live than he does on the albums. Like, he puts a lot more soul and emotion into it, like when you see him singing live.
Cool.
Actually, when I saw them do Coma Eclectic Tour, they put out an EP. It's pretty rare, but they actually do another Queen cover. They cover Bohemian Rhapsody, and they played it live when I saw them for my birthday when Coma Eclectic came out. It must have been 2014. Really good cover of that too. And talk about really being able to break into Freddie's range. Like, he really proved it with that one.
But I think Queen is a pretty good band to do covers of because the Vandals does a cover a Queen song. I can't remember which.
You either do Queen songs really shitty to be funny, or you got to have the chops to actually do the songs good. You know what I mean? You can't just come out and do like a Robbie Williams cover Queen or something like that.
What's the Vandals one? It's Having a Good Time. Is that it? What's it? Anyway, I can't remember. But the excuse me, the Vandals does a cover of a Queen song that's pretty good too. So yeah. So when I saw the
song for them to cover, now that I think about it, I didn't think about the Vandals doing that, but that actually plays to their strengths as a band.
Yeah, it's quick and all the high pitched singing and stuff. It's pretty good. They even up the tempo a little bit to make it even faster. So yeah,
Don't
it was good.
Stop Me Now. Yeah, I could see them doing that. I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard them do that, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think if you go on Vandals. I think if you go on Spotify in their top 5s, it's the second one. Because Spotify always lists the 5 more popular, more known songs, whatever, to sample. And I think it's the second song on their Spotify list. Yeah.
They've always been pretty good at doing covers, though, man. Their cover of Summer Lovin' from Grease was really funny. I don't know if you ever heard them do that.
Well, they're the type of band that you expect that kind of stuff from them, right?
Yeah,
they don't take themselves too seriously. So
they covered Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on Live Fast Diarrhea. So yeah, they. And really early on, they did that cover of Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually on that album you got recently. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Now here's my pick that I'm sure neither one of you are gonna like. It's Humming House, and they do a cover of Justin Timberlake's "My Love," and it's the girl in this. Man, she can fucking belt it out. She's a really good singer. It's kind of got a folky. It's got a little mix of everything because they keep that kind of R&B vibe to it, but they make it more folky even I'd say it almost even touches like bluegrassy a little bit because it has like the violin and stuff in there, so it definitely has that country folk. Then they have a guy that breaks in and does a little beatboxing in it and stuff, but it's really the girl who sings that really brings this song home. Like man, she gets into it, and this is a live version, so like Johnny was saying, from his last pick, the guy when he sings live, he's more soulful and stuff, and you could, this woman, her voice, you can hear it in her voice, like just how soulful it is and stuff, and it really, man, I never thought I'd like this is another one where I'd never thought I'd be like, oh man, I really like this Justin Timberlake song, but like this Humming
Which
House.
one is it?
My Love.
My Love.
I think it's Justin Timberlake. Yeah,
You're
it's
probably
Justin
right.
Timberlake song. Yeah. And anyway, this band, I mean, it's a fun song, and she just nails it, like really, really good.
I was gonna give it a shot until you said somebody beatboxed on it. Kind of
A little
threw that
bit, like
out the window.
just a little part, you know. But it's good. It fits. It fits well in the song. What do you got against beatboxing, man?
No.
What about have you ever what's that band called? Shit, I can't think of them.
Stomp. Like they
No.
make music.
Bankla. Anyway, they do a whole they do Roxanne. It's all like it's a group of 4 or 5 guys, and they just beat. Yeah, and that whole album's pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know. 4 or 5 guys beatboxing Sting by Roxanne by Sting.
Well, it's gonna make it on the playlist now
I got
because
to
I
be to
brought
check
it
that
up.
one out. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to listen to it.
It's gonna be on the playlist, so you can go check it out once I get the playlist done on Sunday. So we have we're gonna have a playlist, and I'm gonna re-listen to the episode. I'll put the playlist together for Sunday night. So anyone who's listening, if you want to go check out any of the songs we were talking about, I'm gonna have a playlist on Spotify under Pink Distortion episode 4. Anyway, Johnny included the link, so you can go find it through the link.
I know a pretty sweet Justin Timberlake cover though.
Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh, they do one like there's a Finnish deathcore band I like called When We Buried the Ringleader, and they do a cover of Crimea River by Justin Timberlake. That's really really good.
That's what Dillinger does too. It's Crimea River.
They
play it straightforward too. They don't like Dillinger up.
Well, the guy from Dillinger can actually sing. He's like Tommy from Between the Buried and Me, so I can imagine him. Actually.
He doesn't have Tommy skills by any means.
He's more on the Mike Patton side
Mike
of it.
Patton, yeah.
Well, whatever. There's worse people to try to rip off.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
singer
not saying
is it?
It's bad.
Is it the second singer that does that one?
That does what?
From the Dillinger, they changed singers, right? It's the other one that came on after?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
It's
like the same dude that sang Milk Lizard and all them other songs that are like really vocal, or I don't know, Faith No More, I guess, you know, like
that's the buddy I work with sometimes. They're the one who plays drums. He loves that band, and he's like, the new singer definitely has like Mike Patton style, more like style vocals.
I think they wanted to keep
him. The EP with him.
Yeah, he did a record with him, so I think they wanted to keep him, but he's like, I don't know, man. I got to go sing the Ninja Turtle song and narrate books and shit. Because like Mike Patton's always doing something weird. Like
that's all right, man. Spice of life, man. Change it up.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people that worship that dude, but like, yeah, he's done some really interesting projects. Like that thing that he did with Justin Pearson was pretty good. Black Cross. I don't know if you checked that one out, Fulci.
Yeah, it was all right.
All right, man. What you got next, Johnny? Do you have anything left?
Yeah, man. Some more punk rock shit. Like one of my other favorite old covers is from Pennywise. Them doing "Stand by Me" is off of the I think Wild Card EP. They just do a kind of a goofy punk rock cover of it. You can tell that they were just fucking around, but like I think that's the charm of it. It's just a really kind of goofy, fun cover of like an old traditional song, and I think they do it really well. That kind of skate punk SoCal style.
So I can't remember now. Was it that one I heard first, or Brown Eyed Girl was the first, like kind of punk cover song that I heard that I was like, that's
Probably,
pretty
dude,
fucking
around the
good.
same time, yeah.
Yeah, they came out around the same time, eh? Yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty good too. I remember hearing that one. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's so easy though, eh? To do a punk cover, like kick. No, but I meant like they just kick up the tempo and it just fucking bam. The song
Yeah.
sounds so much like the song. You're like, okay, yeah, it's like it drags, but then put up the tempo, turn up the guitars and the distortion a little bit, and fucking just jam it out. And it's a lot of songs just, man, they sound so much better. Like just upping the tempo just really gives it so much more, so much easier to listen to, actually, for a lot of them. Like my next one, it's not really a punk cover, but I actually have the vinyl for this. Superchunk. They do a cover of Motorhead's "I'll Be Your Sister," and they actually, I love their version more than the Motorhead version. They up the tempo a little bit; it's a lot quicker than the original, and it's a fantastic song. Like, this is a band I used to listen to a lot when I was in college, and this is one of the albums that I like listening to quite a bit. And this is kind of, I might as well show it because it's a double album. It's some of their earlier stuff, and the vinyl matches the colors on the cover. So one of the vinyls is green, and the other one is obviously the oranger to match like the cover. So that's pretty cool. It was fun, and that's one of my my favorite song on this album. The double album is the "I'll Be Your Sister," the Motorhead cover by Superchunk. It's really good. Love it. They like I said, they put up the tempo. They played a little quicker, and man, I think they did it better than Motorhead, which maybe some people will say is sacrilege, but whatever. They
I
can
don't
bite
know.
it.
I gotta check that out. I don't even really know that Motorhead song, so like
Right?
Motorhead's done some pretty bad records, man. Not even just bad
I
songs.
know.
They've had
Yeah, yeah.
some pretty bad.
I know. A lot of people say that. So
And I love them. I love their contribution, but like, yeah, they had a down period, believe it or not, like most bands of their age do. So
well, what was it? Their first two albums were good, and after that, everything else after that was shit. Isn't that pretty much the way it went for Motorhead?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say like if you like the way they sounded, like you were guaranteed to at least get that from them.
So I think their
Throughout
last good album, like what was the Ace of Spades came out on their 1980 album, and I think that was the last good album they put out. It was in 1980.
Was it?
I think so.
No,
I'm
like
not.
was
I'm
was
not.
it good?
I don't know. I'm not the biggest Motorhead fan,
I'm not either.
so I couldn't say. But I know a lot of people say like Johnny said, they put out a lot of shit albums. So
I appreciate
Like
the
all of them.
contribution, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah, for sure they have a few good jams.
I mean, there's a lot of bands that I respect the hell out of, and like I do like on a kind of on some kind of level, but like I'm not a huge fan of their music. Like Black Flag, like I love Black Flag, what they did. You want me to sit down and listen to a bunch of Black Flag albums with you? I'm not gonna do it, man. Like I'd be like,
Yeah,
hey,
listen
you
to
got
the early years. That's about it.
So I mean, like, and yeah, like Motorhead's another band like that. You know what I mean? Like, they do got some jams. I like "Love Me Like a Reptile." Like, I think that's just like a funny ass song. Like their song "Eat the Rich" is pretty good. I don't know, but like all their songs are pretty much the same. Like if you like just really sped up, slutty blues, like set to like I don't know, on Lobo's Pink Kryptonite Meth. Like it's what Motorhead plays, man. Like, and the funny thing is like whenever anybody plays a Motorhead song, they up the tempo and make it even faster, which is weird because Motorhead's already like a really sped up version of the blues. So
Yeah, but that one isn't as fast as some of their other stuff, though. The original,
okay,
it's a little bit slower in temp. Not a lot slower, but I mean it's not like it's dramatically. They didn't up the tempo dramatically. Just gave it a little more. They sped it up just a bit. So, and I think his vocals fit well for the song too. So, yeah, Super Chunk, man, they're a good band. You should go check them out if anyone listening hasn't ever listened to them. I think they just put out a new album this past year, actually.
I never actually heard of them until you brought them up. Like, are they another one of those kind of like British rock bands, kind of like
No,
Slow?
No, they're not British.
they're not British.
Oh, they
Merge
sound
Records.
like they are. Super Chunk from Nottingham.
No,
Nottingham.
they're like in '90s indie band, man. They're a '90s indie band. They put out some solid stuff.
Okay.
The bulk of their good albums all came out in the '90s. I'd say they have Foolish is another one of their albums that's considered one of their good ones. Foolish and Where the Strings Come In, I think, is another one that's pretty popular of their albums that came out in the '90s. So if you want to listen to Superchunk and get a feel for them, go get Foolish or Here's Where the Strings Come In. And this one too. This is like incidental music is a bunch of their rarities or B-sides from like 91 to 95. A lot of stuff that maybe they came out on like 7 inches or like shorter EPs and stuff. It's just a collection of their earlier stuff, which is really good. Like, I don't know why that didn't make it onto albums because it's one of my favorite albums from them. So that was my last one, man. So I don't know if you have any more, Johnny.
Oh, I could go on all night, but yeah, I'll do like one more for fun. It's gonna be like
All
another
right.
punk rock one, but this one's like a little bit of blending genres. This is from AFI. It's off of the Fire Inside EP. It's them doing a cover of The Hanging Gardens by The Cure, which is really kind of just powerful,
Yeah.
really hard drum beat song, really atmospheric. They do it pretty straight up, but like it's just so sonically mesmerizing. Like they just it like the first song's like really dread, really on you. Like this one just coats you. Like they do just an immense, really good cover of it. I can't recommend it highly enough. Very atmospheric, very. I don't know. Davey has that kind of voice, anyways. Like I don't like if you guys are AFI fans, you know what I'm talking about. But this was before like they mellowed out and did clean vocals. This was mostly when Davey was still yelling in most of their songs. So like it was kind of cool to hear them do a song like this when they did it, and I highly recommend it, man. The Hanging Gardens cover off the Fire Inside EP, really, really, really cool cover. They did another good cover. They did Demonomania by the Misfits as well on that album, which a lot of fun. Really, I don't know. That was off of the Earth AD album, so just really, really fast, really shit punk rock. But they did. Yep, the old man's right with that one. Balzac's cover Ace of Spades. I don't know if you guys ever checked them out. They're a Japanese horror punk band, really inspired by the Misfits, but they do this really good cover of Ace of Spades. But like the guy tries to sing in English, but like after the word
Yeah.
gamble, it's just gone. You don't know what the hell. But like but it's still like a really good cover of the song, man. Like,
Yeah.
but you're like, why didn't you just sing it in Japanese? I'd be interested to hear how it sounds. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
I don't understand why foreign bands try to sing in English. Like, it would be a lot more interesting if you like sang in your own language, in my opinion. But
Maybe they're trying to cross over. I don't know.
yeah, but yeah, Ace of Spades by Balzac, really cool cover. You got nothing else, Joey?
That was it, I think.
Okay,
I think that's all my picks, man.
right
This
on.
one I was like, I could have showed it off when we did the check-in, but I was like, I have it, so I might as well wait till I do my pick and show the vinyl at the same time. It's pretty sweet though, green and orange, man. Pretty happy to
Irish
get that
colors.
when I saw that. Yeah. Super Chunk, super European band, man.
Super chunk.
I don't know. I'd have to check. I don't know if they're from California or what, but
No, I'm
like
pretty
the
sure they're
back,
not.
the back of the cover is like some kid skating like that. So I don't know. They might be a Cali band. I don't know. Merge Records. Where were they based out of?
Merge.
Yeah,
Probably
I
Can't
Seattle.
tell you.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're a Seattle band. That makes sense in the '90s. One of those indie rock bands. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's it for me, man. That's I think this is perfect. Hour and a half, we're almost right on the dot. That's like the sweet spot. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
But
you wanted to throw another one in there, Fulci? Thought of anything while any other ones that came up while we were talking or anything?
The Independents do a really good like horror ska kind of cover of Danzig's Mother.
Oh, okay,
okay.
yeah. I dig the
Super
original.
fun.
I dig the original, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, I
So,
mean
like
his
I
first
said,
3 albums are really good, but yeah, like Mother probably like the best song he did solo in my opinion. Like it really is just a banger.
it is good, yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm gonna make a playlist for anyone listening. I'll have the playlist up by Sunday night. You can go on Spotify. Johnny put the link, I think, in the description, so you can click the link there. Go to the
Yeah, the
playlist.
link's
I'll have
there,
it.
yeah, but you're gonna have to wait for Joe to put the music there. But he'll
Yeah,
get on
I'm
it.
gonna.
He's really good
Yeah,
about it, except for when he was sick and we let him get away with not putting up the soundtrack album. But like that's
yeah.
okay. I don't think we really named too many songs on that soundtrack episode. So
And it's a little harder because it's a soundtrack. So unless we like pick specific songs from the soundtrack, it's almost like a playlist. Each soundtrack is like a playlist in its own right.
yeah, you
So
could
it was
pick
kind of
the
hard to put a
soundtrack.
playlist together, yeah. But this one, because we picked specific songs, it'll be easier to put a playlist together. And I'll have that done for, let's say, Sunday night, like around supper time. So in the evening, it should be up and done and put together by Sunday evening.
More supper time or brunch, or how about like
No, evening, evening, Sunday
before
evening.
dessert?
It'll be up Sunday evening.
We'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about Grant Morrison's Seven Soldiers Frankenstein. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Probably a quick episode, just
Hmm.
because just how fast the reading material is. But it'll be a lot of fun to talk about, and yeah, it'll be kind of wrapping up the Morrison month, which is pretty fun, pretty groovy. I think we've been doing a lot of cool stuff with that. So you want to check us out then? That'd be cool. We'll be back 8 o'clock or
And
7
then, yeah,
Eastern time, Tuesday evening. So
yeah. And then Friday, we back next Friday with our, what was the name of the, what'd you call it? Romance the Flower, what
the
was it?
Flowers of Romance, man.
The Flowers of Romance Part 2. So we'll have, Elle will be joining us, and so
Basically,
we'll,
the tea room. Tara will be
yeah,
there too, right? So we'll have the
the
whole
Tea
tea
Room
room with
girls.
us.
Yeah, they'll be here sharing, which was, if you watch the first one, it's we pick a bunch of basically not safe for work or more erotic type oriented titles, and we cover that. And you want to give people a little shout out on what we might be covering on Friday? Because there's a book you
Uh,
picked that was pretty interesting that we'll be
I
talking about.
I want to talk about that when I do my next comic book check in, because I kind of
Okay.
want to tell the story about like the reading the issue of Saga that kind of goes with the finding that book. But yeah, we'll be talking about some Mirka and Dolfo, some uh Maria Lovett, Brian Azzarello action.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. We'll be covering a few of the continuations of the stuff we did from the
Brian
first
K. Vaughan, if
episode.
you don't
So
know
yeah.
yet. So it's a really cool book. But
Yeah.
yeah, until Tuesday, I'll holler at you
Mhm.
later. Take it easy.
Have a good weekend.